Got a real interesting story to show you here about religiosity and belief in God in America. So let me go ahead and throw up the first graphic here. New, the share of Americans who say they know God really exists and have no doubts about it has fallen below 50% for the first time in general social survey polling. So you can see there we're now at 49.7%. So basically 50% of the country says, I know God exists. I have no doubts about it. Now, look, that's still higher than I would have guessed if you told me what percentage says they know God exists. I would have guessed maybe 30%, 40% say that. So it's higher than what I thought. But it is also the case that it's going down. So, I mean, there was a time not too long ago, I mean, like 2005, you had 63, 64% of the country saying that they think that they know God exists. You had about 60% in 2010 said they know God exists. So it's going down. It's going down. So the question is, why is it going down? I'll get to that in a second, but before I do that, let me just throw up this other graphic too, because this is more about religion than belief in God. But when it comes to Americans' religious preferences, Christian has now plummeted to 69% as of 2020 or 2021. This was the most recent one I could find here from Gallup. By the way, 69. Nice. And then you have non-Christian or other is 7%, and no religion has spiked to 21%. No religion was look at the year 2000, no religion was pretty low. It was like 10% or less than 10%. Now it's 21%. So basically, in 20 years, the no religious affiliation thing has doubled. It's doubled. So what is there to say about this? I mean, we can only speculate as to how and why we got to this point, and whether or not it's a good or bad thing. Now, overall, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. The developed industrial countries that are less religious are in the Scandinavian region, and they believe more in social democracy. So it's almost like once you let go of the idea that like there's, you know, an afterlife where everything will be perfect, you feel inclined to make this world better. It's like, let's be under no illusions. It's not like we're all going to die and then go to paradise, and so we can just suffer through our current existence. It's like, maybe we're not going anywhere. Maybe when you die, it's just lights out and you're asleep forever, effectively. So why not make this world better? And so there's a correlation. Now, you'd have to prove that they're more linked than I'm leading on here, but it is possible. It's a theory, at least. It's a hypothesis that there's a direct link between lower levels of religiosity and belief in God and a stronger belief in like left politics to make our current existence better. So I think it's a good thing. I also think it's a good thing just because it's true. Like it's accurate to say none of the particular religions are correct. There's over 4,000 religions in existence. Is anybody really narcissistic enough and self-centered enough to think I just happen to be born into the right one? Like my mommy and daddy got it right and everybody else has got it wrong. No, none of the specific religions are correct. None of them are true. They're all mythologies. Now, if you acknowledge they're mythologies, but you still sort of partake in one, that's fine. But to act like it's real, no, it's definitely not real. So the religion, and then even the belief in God, the only reasonable positions, in my opinion, are atheism or agnosticism when it comes to belief in God. Maybe you could make stretch of an argument for some sort of vague deism, like universality, energy type stuff, I guess. But really, any belief in a theistic God is like, you lost me. So I think the main reason why we're getting to where we are now is honestly just the increase in technology and the growth of knowledge. I mean, now you have all the information in the world at your fingertips 24/7 on your phone or on an iPad or a laptop. Like, when you have so much available information, it's hard to hold on to very primitive, mystical beliefs. And so I think that's one of the reasons why. The more humans evolve and the more technology evolves, the harder it is to hold on to nonsensical beliefs. Now, it's also the case that sometimes all the information available at your fingertips doesn't mean you'll actually look at it. And people could have, like, bad information that they're getting. You could easily go down a conspiracy rabbit hole and get even dumber using technology. But I don't think most people do that. I think most people, the first thing happens. So most people do see a lot more information. It gets harder to hold on to those religious beliefs. But it is also possible too. Another possibility is that since people are struggling and since there's been a neoliberal assault on the well-being of people, not just in the US, but in other countries as well, that there is more of a sense of hopelessness, and maybe there's a link between a more nihilistic, atheistic feeling and hopelessness. But I don't know. That seems a little too dark for me to believe. It's possible it works like that with some folks, but I don't know how broad of a trend that would be. But overall, I think it's a good thing. I think the more we can shake mysticism and nonsensical beliefs, the better off we are. And I will say, 50% is still a high number, 49.7%, to say they're absolutely certain God exists. That means half of the people in the country are dead set certain on something that is, there's no reason to be certain on it. Just like none at all. Zero. I respect it if people say, yeah, I believe this, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Fair enough. But people who are like, no, I know this. I know God exists. I'm absolutely certain of it. And they won't budge on that. They actually believe that. It's like, you got to stop believing things with no good reason. We all need to be open-minded and take in evidence and adjust course and grow. And so anyway, this number has dipped, but I hope it gets lower because, again, I think the trend is mostly positive because there's many downsides to having mystical religious beliefs that have broader societal implications, and we want to limit those. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.